guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa and you are watching The Girl Meets Yarn. Today I'm going to talk about the Coorie in Poncho by Amy Paco. I made this, started in December, and I want to tell you all about it. So if that's something for you, then keep on watching. Every single time I hear myself saying Lisa, I chuckle internally because the way that you pronounce my name is not Lisa, it's Marilisa. Marilisa. And I know for people whose pretty much primary or first language is English, it's difficult to roll your R's. So I have adjusted my name a little bit so it's easier for you to pronounce, and I now look back when they call my name Lisa, even though it's Marilisa. So I only expect my kids and my mom, my husband, to pronounce my name correctly. The rest, I actually don't get offended at all. And I say this because I've seen a lot of chatter out there of people pretty much asking us YouTubers to pronounce name correctly, and as a person whose name has never been pronounced correctly in this platform, I bet only Anna have pronounced it correctly. I don't care. And I bet the people we are pronouncing the names, they don't care either. They probably are really excited that we're in somebody's platform. So with that said, let's move on to my finished object, which is the Coorie in Poncho by Amy Paco. Amy Paco published this pattern, I believe it was in November last year, November 2023, and I was like, excuse me? I was like, yes, because if you don't know, I love Poncho, and this is like a story that I have done many times, but I'm gonna say it again. So when I was in school, I went to Catholic school my entire life from pre-K till I graduated as a senior, and we had uniforms. So I think it was in 5th grade, they changed some of the elements of the uniform, and they added this cute little cardigan with white piping, and it has like white stripes on the sides, and then the logo was in white. My mom bought me, it was, well, they changed it because it was white before and I had the white, and my mom was like, I don't know about that, I don't know about that blue, and I was going through the white ones, which they were awful. Imagine kids with white cardigans. They changed to blue, and my mom was like, I don't know about that, like you keep on outgrowing these cardigans and they're expensive, so I'm gonna make you a poncho. Let me tell you, I was offended. I was like, oh my God, what people, you know, as a 5th grader, 4th grader, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be like the only one with a poncho, because you could use like a regular blue cardigan, like with no logo, or the designated one, or you can use something navy blue. So my mom made me a crochet blue poncho, and I was so embarrassed to bring this to school because I wanted the, you know, the nice one. And in Puerto Rico, we don't need those cardigans, but you know, it's just 80 degrees, we're freezing. So I went my first time with my poncho, and everybody was like, nice. So I was like, you know, like people's appreciation. I was like, yeah, my mom made this poncho. And it was so cute. Let me tell you, my mom made it a little bit bigger than I was back then, and I lost that poncho when I was a senior in high school. That poncho was used by everybody in my class. Everybody loved it. They will fight over the freaking poncho. I was sometimes shivering on, you know, like a 79-degree weather because they will not give it back to me. It grew with me for so many years, and I loved it. Somebody, when I was a senior, decided that she could not part with my poncho, or the poncho of the community, and she took it home. And I say this because we were all girls, so yeah, they took it from me one day. Nobody knew where my poncho was, and I know they stole it from me because it was that amazing. It grew with me. I loved it. It was very versatile. I love a poncho because you have your arms are just like free to do whatever, but you know, it's just like the perfect amount of warmth for transition weather. And I think for spring now is, and with these colors, I mean, hello, I'm really ready. I am really ready for spring. And oh my god, you all need one. So let me start with the basics. Let me tell you, I thought it was silly to have a knitting journal, and I may not go back. I've been trying to have a knitting journal that work for a long time, and I kind of finally cracked the code. Make it pretty. So this is the spread for this poncho. I have all the elements that I need here. The yarn that I use is from an Advent. I'm going to talk about that. But the Advent came in with a card, and then I bought another thing and came in with another card. So I have 2 cards. So what I did, I took the title of it, and it's I Love New York theme. So I took the negative space out of Lady Liberty, which she has a little right here. And I then, the second one, I just kept the little card, and you guys have seen this. So when you open, you have the little picture of the poncho, and I'm supposed to have all the details here, but I should have done this down. Maybe I ripped it out, and I just do the basics on the top. So I'm trying to keep it really organized to see what I been using. So I love that I have in progress notes and then post notes, and the only thing that I'm missing in this spread is just a picture of me wearing it, and I will just, you know, tape it here and be done. I love it. I have a little bit of the yarn as well, so that's fun. So let's just do basics. This is a one size pattern. The length from neck to the front point is 21 inches. So when we decided how to use the yarn, that information was important. I'm going to talk about that later. But the suggested needles are US size 6 for rib, neck, and the bottom rib, and then US size 8 for the body. This pattern is written for DK weight yarn, and I use fingering weight yarn, 1 strand of that, and then mohair and sterlina. So I use 3 through the body. The neck was a little I did a lot of modifications, you want to say, if not, I'm gonna call it errors, but I started the neck using the yarn double, and I realized that I was not going to have enough, so I did engage swatch, as you guys know, and I think this one is definitely a little bit more than 21 inches because I let it hang to dry. When Advent season was approaching, I saw this beauty being published, and I was just like, what about if we use that pattern? So Christina and I from Chelsea Luxe, we were going back and forth, kind of like trying to decide what we were going to knit. We already decided what to read. So I sent her you know, a couple of suggestions, and she was, you know, we were like going back and forth, and I said, hey, what about we did this? We had a sweater in mind. I think it was 2 sweaters in mind, and then this one. So after doing all the math, well, I'm not gonna take any like she did it all. She did, you know, all the math, and she thought about it, and because she has a way more experience or knowledge yarn wise than I do, we decided to make the poncho as our Advent for this year using the minis. So because the length was going to be 21 inches, she thought about changing the yarn every inch. So instead of using, you know, the 25, we use just 21, or until we have enough. So sure enough, that's what I did. So I didn't want to do mohair. So I started with day number 1, and I held it double. So I thought, okay, so I didn't hitting a swatch, what's new? So pretty much I like, you know, measure it here, and I said, I think 8 rows. So what I did, I went in 6 rows, and I introduced the new color day number 2. So because I was holding it twice or double, it was easier just to let one go and then introduce the new one, knit 2 rows and then let go of the old one and keep the new. So that's what I did for the ribbed. But when I was on color number 5, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to make an inch per color when I am down here. So sure enough, I then let go of the using the yarn double for the body and just kept it for the ribbed. And I then introduced mohair, which I use Snow, I think it's Snow White. I don't know, I cannot find the wool band, but this is the kind of like ecru whitish from Christina, and I held it with this, and then I had a little bit of Stordina. So I used these 2 colors, and this is the brand. Okay, that is the brand, and I use these 2 colors. I use this one color more than that because I use this one for another project, and I think I've used this like 2 projects right now, and I was just like, it was just easier just not to weave too many ends. So I held these 2 together, and then I changed every 6 rows. So because here I was having just one strand of the, you know, mini color, the colored yarn. I did 6 rows, so I alternated. So I did 6 rows, and then I introduced a new color, the next color, and I did 1 row, then I dropped that one, resumed with the previous color, did 1 row, and then 6 rows of the new color, and that's going on and on. So you see that I have like a little faint line going on, and I'm not mad about it. I love it. It's not as stripy as others, but if I'm gonna keep on going, when I was around colors 15, I thought I was not gonna have enough. So sure enough, I started to count the amount of stitches that I'm supposed to have around, and I had way more than I was supposed to, and I was like, oh my god. So I consulted again with Christina, and she said that she had the amount required, so definitely I went overboard, and I asked her how many or how she did her rows, and she did 6 rows, I did 8. So I think that's why she ended up using more of the minis. I think she used like 20 or 21. I had to stop at 17. I actually, the last one, the last row or the rib, I needed to find a yarn that was similar to be able to do like 2 more rows before I cast off. So thank God I found something similar. And for me it was important to find something similar because this mini had, or the advent, I like it to be sparkle, so I didn't want to have like, you know, a couple rows without sparkles, although I was having other sparkle, but you know what I mean. I wanted to keep it consistent. I found one, it's perfect, and I love it. Gauge wise, I didn't gauge swatch at all. I used the recommended needles, which is US 6 for the rib and then US 8 for the body. I think I said that. So it makes it quite fast. It goes really fast. It gets a little, I don't want to say boring, but when you are at the end, you have like 500 stitches, just get a little bit, you know, whatever. The pattern is really simple to follow. I think it's just one of those classics, and if you want to do something like this and you feel that it's intimidating, let me tell you, it's not. It's very beginner friendly, and I loved it, and I have nothing else to say. I think, hold on, let me see, let me check my notes. So while I was introducing new colors, I was doing the Steven weave-in method, and let me tell you, night and day. I went ahead and I cut all the ends out, and I don't have to weave at an end. I'm going to add that video to the description below, which I'm gonna have the links for the pattern and all that and the timestamp as well down there, so you can check that out. But let me tell you, this was life-saving. I didn't do the Steven weaving on the neck, and I had to weave it was a lot. I was just like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. So that is the one for the Chelsea, and I am doing a second one with the homespun house at Venezuela, and I am ready to change the needles. They are a little difficult to work right now, if you see, but I am on color number 10, and let me tell you, this fade, this theme this year, it was a fade, and I love it. For this one, I started the neck. I started mohair from the neck, so I've been holding the mohair and the mini throughout consistently, not like this one that I don't have mohair in the neck, although it doesn't bother me, it doesn't make me as hot, so that's something to consider. I love it. It's just so easy, and even if I leave it, you know, and I resume it, I know, okay, like this row I need to increase or whatever. What I do to know where I am, I just always add a stitch marker after I do all the blending, and I am working solidly with over 6 rows of whatever color I do. On the first row I do add a mini or like a little stitch marker, and now I know I'm right now at the end of blending the previous color, so I have to just you know, go till here, and then I will start the 6 rows with color number 10. So that's that, and let me show you. Okay, this is the poncho in the flesh. I love it. It's so cute. I love it all. I love the neck. I love how it's just so drapey. Feels so drapey. I'm gonna have this on all the time. I love it. Anyway, this is the front, this is the back, and you need one. That's all I'm gonna say. You need a poncho. So I went ahead and I washed it, and I took the excess of the water. I think I waited like 2 weeks to block this, because I am notorious for messing stuff out in the washing process. If you have don't know, we're not gonna revive that. That's actually kind of like insane to revive, but it took me a while. I went ahead and washed it and took the excess, and I put it on a hanger. I know, I follow Christina's recommendation. I took a hanger that had the shoulders were quite wide. They were like this wide, so you don't see nothing poking, and I made sure that I was like moving every so often, so it was not just stretching from the same side. So I love it. I didn't block it like I was supposed to. I may go ahead and just add a little bit of weight to the front corners and just like let them hang a little bit longer. But right now, it's just so good. So that's all for me this week. Until next week, happy knitting. Bye.